Let's kick it old school!
Yeah, boy!
Old school essentials. The further adventures of the Thunderous Three.
Time for the recap.
Since it was sort of the night of the Bard last time, perhaps the Bard can get back into redoing the recap himself. So our wonderful friend Basil displayed his intellectual side for us by successfully deciphering a significant portion of the book. We discovered all things about the priestess of the banished and how, in searching for a cure for her daughter, she came across something called a sanguinis rex, which turns out to be, if you translate the legend, to be perhaps the first vampire and the most powerful one. And apparently there is something he has that can cure just about anything. So, of course, Remy is fascinated by this and wants to go out and find this vampire. But it turns out the vampire is on a demi-plane. He has been banished by the gods. And indeed, there are no stable ways to get there. So in order to get there, it is a true quest, looking for the cracks in reality itself. Along the way, Karin managed to beg another short period of time out of the professor who had the book so that we could get confirmation out of our friend from the magic shop, whose name I don't have written down. But in any case, we did indeed get confirmation that the story was correct, and a little more information about how to track down this rift in reality that we would need to find in order to discover where the vampire is. That led to, of course, talking to the concierge to try to figure out if it was a vampires hunters guild or other guild. The concierge did not know of a vampire hunters guild, but he had, as all good concierges, an idea or two and agreed to go out and look for us. And indeed, he came back very shortly with a message saying that we would meet outside the memorial close to midnight. In the meantime, our message came back from our wonderful captain, and he basically told us we were crazy and completely barking up the wrong tree. We could not turn privateer. What do we do? Well, that's why he hired us. And where is the ship? Nobzig Island, but of course that's not a wonderfully precise location. And if he thought, he realized that a message may have been intercepted, and indeed it may be false. But we know now, if we can delay his execution until the full moon, he can get himself out, for indeed he is a slippery little were-rat under the full moon. So, in addition to our thief showing himself to be an intellectual, Basil actually shows himself to be the bard. He successfully outplays the bard and comes up with the idea to sell the mayor on the festival. Clintock then adds to the plan, saying that we should hit up the taverns with the rumor of the festival in order to pressure the mayor. The bard, feeling completely chagrined that he has been outfought and outplayed in his own area, of course agrees to do it and starts coming up with the details of how to do it. The end result is the idea of bringing justice to the Festival of Light. In the darkest night, we execute the dread pirate Ox, which will give us just enough time for the full moon to happen and Ox to slip away as well, an ox mouse. Is there any such a thing? Oh, there will be shortly enough. Thank you. It turns out that in order to sway the town, we must hit 4 different places: the Dark Fang, the Goblin's Den, the Sailor's Seduction, and the Greasy Fly Food and Spirits. But hopefully we don't have to eat at all of them, because that last one doesn't sound so good. The Goblin's Den is, of course, a student hangout, and the students quickly came onto the idea of a festival, as long as it came with, of course, free fucking beer. So that went fairly well, and we went over to the Dark Fang, which was a more refined sort of setting. And it turns out, indeed, a lot of the local bureaucrats eat there. Instead of trying to rabble rouse as he did at the Goblin's Den, the bars started making jokes about about the crazy mayor, which seemed to be fairly well received, and managed to get the idea across that yes, indeed, there would be a festival, and indeed we ate there, for it had some of the better food of the night. Then we hit the Greasy Fly on the Merchant District, which was mostly the working men's area. And they too thought it wonderful for the festival, except of course there's this strange yell in the background, free fucking beer. I mean, it's like we had an echo following us. And of course, in the last but certainly not least, we went to the Sailor's Seduction and got yet again the mystery brew, trying not to get drunk and stupid. Basil starts talking up an arm wrestling tournament. But of course, the man whose mouth we have been filling with our own words shows up at the Sailor's Seduction over the night and seems to be interested in what the talk of the town is. So the bard very carefully suggested the festival, and the mayor seemed to be all in, especially as Basil detailed the 7 points of his 4-point plan for this festival, which really tells you exactly what intellectual level the mayor is on. If he's down wonderfully well with what Basil was going on. In any case, we managed to get all of this done just before midnight, in time to meet our guy at the monument, who seems to be a dark and mysterious figure, and perhaps even a vampire himself, and questions what we are doing and why we would go see such a thing. And oops, I made a mistake earlier. He's the one who told us how we get to the demi-plane, or the tracks in reality, and gave us hints in that direction. Then we go back to the rejuvenating bog to find a huge fellow wielding a large mace, and it turns out indeed he is seeking after our friend Karn, for Karn has indeed stirred the pot with his tithe. Even though it was certainly Cuthbert's due, it was way more than Cuthbert is used to receiving, and our friendly big guy was sort of checking up on Karn to make sure that everything was on the up and up. He has also voiced his concern about executing somebody in the Festival of Light, for that is certainly not the purpose of the festival. But, we managed to convince him that rumors were just rumors and things might actually happen differently. And that was it. It was a full night, but much was done, including melting the mayor's mind. First by putting words in his mouth, and second by turning Basil loose on him, which turned out to work wonderfully well. Anything major I missed?
No, I think you hit it. I mean, you guys went to each place, and before you performed, it was either Clintock, I think it was most Clintock, or maybe Karn. So somebody else would do something, either talk to the bartender or talk to other people. You also ran into Remy at the student place, which I can't think of the name.
You're right. Credit where credit is due. Clintock and Felix, being sort of the more steady of the crew, very definitely helped to talk up the crowd on the festival.
Yeah. Felix met with Remy and talked to her kind of about what she was doing and if she needed any help. And you guys met the stranger at the memorial, and he gave you some advice, told you to probably silver your weapons if you run into this Blood King, and that he doesn't take kindly to visitors, and that he may see you as a threat, and that the gods had cursed his manor, and that's why it was hard to find. You ran into the Josiah, who was the cleric, the priest of St. Cuthbert, and he spoke to Karn, and then you left from there. You were at the rejuvenating bog. It's the middle of the night, and you are now presumably fast asleep on day 10 as the winds have picked up here in Clinkville. Karn, you hear a knock at your door. Hello?
What time?
Hello? You're guessing it's like 4:35 in the AM?
So I've just woken up and am saying my prayers.
Okay.
Oh, blast. Cuthbert, forgive me. I go to the door and who's there?
Sorry to bother you. It's Brucon, your concierge. I apologize. I have a message. You've been requested. I'm sorry to bother you.
I open the door.
So yeah, it's the elf Brucon, and he looks tired, and he's huddled up in cloaks because it's cold out. He's I'll be right back. I need to get Orion and Clintock. I apologize. Meet us in the lobby. And he scurries down the hall.
I get into my armor quickly.
Okay. So you guys
I thought you slept in your armor. Never mind.
Clintock, you hear a knock at your door. It's Brucon. I apologize. Clintock, if you're in there, you've been requested.
By who at this hour?
The mayor himself.
All right, I will be there.
And then there's a knock at Orion Corjohn's room. Orion, I'm sorry. This is Brucon. I'm sorry to bother you. You've been requested.
Who the heck requests anybody at this hour of the morning?
The mayor himself. I apologize.
Oh boy. No, understood. You definitely have to live in this town and have to deal with the man. All righty, grumble, grumble, grumble. I will do what our friendly paladin did and throw on my chain right quick.
Yeah, you walk past like the bathhouse area as the steam is coming up because it's really cold outside, but this water is warm and there's like this almost like a fog in here. And headed out into the living area on the tile floor is Brucon all huddled up in his cloak. And next to him is Kanyashenti, who I believe Clintock spoke to at the Sailor Seduction.
Yeah.
He is in these fancy robes that look a little bit dirty. They're wet, almost like they've been stained or they're wet. And he is just standing stoically, and he says, I apologize for the inconvenience, but your attendance has been requested by the mayor himself. I apologize for the hour.
Clintock pipes up. Is this the first meeting of the party planning committee?
It is not officially the first meeting. I would assume that this would be you are about to be offered the job.
Oh, okay.
Perhaps this mayor is more godly than I thought. Up and awake and about at this hour. This is time when the good men are awake.
So Brucon opens the door to
That's what she said.
rejuvenating bog, and you can see there's kind of a low fog over the hills, and the wind cuts right through you as it's freezing cold. And you just see the lights as you're going on the east end of Clinkville, just the lights of the towers. You can see there's small fires. There's only a few lights in Clinkville. It is still very early. and you begin to approach the university, and to the left of the university area is the mayor's palace, mansion, whatever you want to call it. And about the second story, you can see this huge light. Like there's these fires on like the second story. And you could pass through a couple guard gates, and you come up to a lift, and they open a door, and you step on, and you can hear a crank go, and you get up to the top of the lift. You only go up like 12 feet. And you stop, and there are these fires going. It's an outdoor like pavilion. There's some singing going on. It's not very good, but there's some singing going on and some talking, and you're looking, and your eyes, you see people laying on the ground, and there's a couple people there. You see somebody with a serving tray walking around with drinks, and somebody looks like they might have food, and the fires are coming out of these. They look like they almost look like some kind of frog behemoth thing. They stand about 3 feet tall. They look like they got their mouths open, but they're shooting fire up, and it's feel the heat and the light. And you stop, and they open the little gate of the lift, and somebody announces, "Cognoscenti and guests have arrived." And they're like, and there's like a half-hearted, "Hey!"
So this party's been going on all night.
It could have possibly be, yes. As you walk by, you see somebody coming over and like checking on somebody, laying down, and they kind of roll them in the recovery position and kind of pick up their drink, and staggering, pushing people aside. It's the mayor. "Fucking A, where you guys been? This has been a jammer. Woo. Yeah. Karn and Clintock Orion. The song." And he points over. "You bards, work on that song. This is the fucking guy who sang it. They've been trying to sing it all night. It's terrible." But it got crazy after you left. What have you guys been up to? What have you been doing?
Discovering the dark and mysterious parts of your city. Truly, there are hidden depths there.
I mean, I've just been trying to dream up new ideas for this party.
Yeah, the party. I can't stop thinking about it. It's going to be a humdinger. Hey, you guys are going to be you and the Cognoscenti and the mod are going to be part of this group. They're going to plan this fucking thing. It's going to be big, man, big. The Rocanar is going to hear about it. I'm going to be like mayor, whatever. I'm going to get awards and stuff. Don't worry. You're going to be taken care of. Where's my sage? I need to know. I need to know if the gods are going to bless me with good weather. Find that sage. And he yells at somebody and they scurry inside the manor. Oh, man. You want a drink or something?
Well, some water would be nice.
Oh, water. Okay. Sure. Suit yourself.
Do you
Water.
have food?
Yeah, water, bring the food. And somebody brings over a plate of like meats and cheeses.
All right. First breakfast.
Oh, wonderful.
Eat up.
Sounds good to me.
So we're going to do arm wrestling, and we're going to have a performance, and we're going to execute some people like the Dread Pirate and something. Karn, I got this great idea. Why don't you do the chopping? You need to do that.
For the servant to do such a thing.
You are.
I shall be praying.
Well, you can pray during and before and after. Like, I think I even got the sword to do it too.
I have taken
inside.
a special vow that I can only take lives in combat.
Hey, not for the mayor. You can do it for. Just tell Saint Hubert that it's all good. Get my sword. He yells at somebody and they run inside. The cognoscenti is
Forgive his
standing.
transgressions, for he knows not what he says.
Cognoscenti is just standing there, just like, why am I enduring this? I don't know. An older man comes, like he was just woken up. Yes, Mayor. What? Sage, tell me what the forecast is. What's the weather going to be? Like, I gotta know. Yes, he says, Mayor, I think it'll be windy today. You jerk! I need to know for like the rest of the light festival. Get your ass out of here. And he shuffles off. He grabs some food from the plate, runs back inside. So you want we got the arm wrestling and the executions. We need to round up some more people, because I'm thinking the more the better. Right?
Well, perhaps we could have some sacred services. Certainly that will draw the good and faithful to the party.
Well, yeah, as long as I got free fucking beer. Yep.
Yeah.
Very well. Karn's just going to stay quiet.
You know what you guys should do? You should have a dancing competition. See who can dance the longest.
I'm writing that one. Somebody make a note of it. That's going to be which day we doing this on. Dance and contest.
Dance in the new year. What an idea.
And we execute the losers. There you go. Good idea. We can get rid of them.
Even if they're voters, huh?
I'm gonna win anyway. And you hear like these three people to his side, like are trying to harmonize and they're trying to sing, they're like, the light of justice. He's like, that's terrible. Do it again.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Let's save the musicians to start out with. Orion's going to go over and take them in hand and sort of, no. Here's the basic chord. Bang. Okay. Can you hit the chord, guys?
One of them looks familiar. He's the dulcimer player. He's like, okay, that's kind of out of my wheelhouse, but
a good musician can adapt. Make sure that they can hit the note to start out with, so it doesn't grate on the mayor's ears as much anymore, and then run them through the song there.
So yeah, you see somebody else come, like one of serving one of the mayor's crew come and check on somebody, and roll them in the put them in the recovery position, and they're like cleaning up mugs and stuff. It's like, oh yeah. Whew, telling you. So, where's that sword at? And then somebody comes out, like it's like holding it has gloves on. This sword, you need to take this sword. This is for you. And as you look at the sword, it has like a black. The blade looks black, kind of like a black gray with red flecks in it.
I think it's time for the bard's, knowledge roll, because I'm not sure that that's going to be such a great sword for anybody. 2 and 6 supposedly, and I get knowledge on, legendary items, etc.
All right.
Let's see if I can make it.
Good luck.
2.
Looking at it, you've heard of a material called hematite. It is an ore, an element that was created during like the first war, the War of Fallen Friends, which was about 800 years ago, and it is infused with blood diamonds. supposedly it has like magical properties, especially against undead or vampires or other things of that nature. It's rare to find an actual weapon because they mined it all and it's all gone. They've tried to recreate it through magic, but that never seemed to work out very well. So this is a very rare item.
Wow.
That works against the undead. There is a chance that Karn may recognize it too. I mean, maybe, but he looks at the mayor and he looks at the sword and says, "Well, this looks like a rare gift indeed."
Yeah, you know, because this pirate, he could be not what he says, and we want to make sure we chop, and he's dead.
Clintock pipes up. Oh, we should definitely hold on to this in case that that is the case. I'm sure Karn would love to personally look after this. I mean, I can hold it for Karn if he doesn't want to carry it with him at all times.
Orion wanders over and goes, wow, is that one of the amazing, what'd you say, hematite swords?
Hemadai.
That's so hemadine, that's supposed to be so amazingly good against undead and such.
Yeah, you heard about this ox. He could be like a lich or something crazy.
You think he could be undead?
Yeah, he could be.
And this sword is useful against the undead.
Yeah, anything like that. I mean, haven't you run into a vampiric cow before?
I just have not been able to find the sacred cow level as of yet. But it's possible.
Cow that bites back.
We're going back a decade or so, aren't we?
But Orion will basically put his arm around Karn and say, "Truly, Karn, this is a heroic sword."
Let me see this. And he'll take it up and step back and clear some space and give it some swings.
Yeah, it's very light. Yeah, it's a lot lighter than most swords.
This is well balanced indeed. And he pulls his own sword out and looks at it and looks at the other one and says, "Here, you can have this."
Oh, and he doesn't take it. Somebody else, the person who brought it out, hands it like this. Yeah, what if you does this have any kind of, did you like kill a giant with it or something?
I have slain a giant with it and many other things.
Well, put it on the wall, the giant slaying sword from Karn of St. Cubert.
Fair trade. But that's Cuthbert.
That guy too.
And he looks at the bard and he whispers out of the side of his mouth. He goes, "I don't know how I feel about this. He's not very godly, but it's a princely gift."
Remember where we may be going. If it is of use against such things, it is surely within Cuthbert's domain.
Cuthbert works in mysterious ways.
His will to enforce.
As you're having this conversation, that sage comes back out, that older guy, and he's got some kind of piece of parchment. And he's like, "Oh, Mayor." Oh, he grabs the piece of paper and he looks at it. this, and he takes the paper and puts his finger right at the sage's chest. Like, this will not do. Tell your gods to do something about this weather. And he crimples up the parchment, and throws it into one of the fires. The guy just shakes his head. I can't have storms in the middle of this festival. Appease the gods. What? How do we appease the gods? This is our first step. We gotta have good weather. I can't have storms coming in from the ocean and ruining everything.
Do you perhaps have a prize goat? Or perhaps a prize-winning cow?
Oh, Card's going to recommend the sacrifice. Is that the way of Cuthbert? Never mind.
Goat and cows. Goat. We'll find one. A goat.
You find a fatted cow or a prize goat, and then we sacrifice it, and we use the meat from it, not to feed all of us here who are well fed, but to feed those out in the streets, the huddled masses who don't get to eat meat every day. All in the name of Cuthbert, and certainly Cuthbert shall respond with fair weather and clear skies.
I can't argue with that. Do you have anything to add?
The more that you slaughter, the better your chances.
And he grabs one of his attendants who is like picking up drinks. Hey, now go find a cow goat, and when you do, take it through the streets and then slaughter those people who aren't eating it. Go. The guy looks like
Carn pulls him off to the side and explains the idea to him. Feed the hungry, friend. Feed the hungry.
well, okay. He runs inside the manor. Okay, good. So you're on the committee, the party committee. There's a meeting. Cognoscenti. And he's like standing right next to him. He starts yelling, Cognoscenti. He just rolls his eyes. Yes, there will be a meeting for the three of you at the Shortbread Bakery in the admin district at high noon with someone from the Emperor's office to discuss this festival.
Well, thank you for the honor.
Well, we think very highly of what you have done, and your ideas and planning seems to be on point. And you can see the mayor has kind of wandered off into another group, and he's like talking to him. Got his arm. The mayor has taken with your ideas, and we just need we just need this festival to be really good. And don't worry, he'll pass out here soon enough.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you get some sleep eventually.
Yes.
Why, it's the time of the day to be wakeful, saying prayers, eating breakfast, and getting about the day's business.
So the mayor comes staggering back over, arm in arm, like he's hugging, he's got his arm around somebody, and somebody else is holding up. It's an older man with a long gray beard. You know this person, Loesch. Aha, I see you've shown up there. It's good that you've arrived at sort of the late hour. As I was telling the mayor, of course, all I was just standing there was just wearing my beard, and it was very funny. But it's good to see you again. Will you be coming by? the shop opens in I will be a bit delayed. He doesn't look any worse for the wear. He doesn't look like he doesn't have bags under his eyes. He doesn't look like, if he's been up all night, he sure don't look it.
I think some of our companions have
You know
talked
what?
about getting silvered.
Yeah, that's true. Most of the people wanted to get silvered weapons, so I guess we will be stopping by. But don't mention silver out loud in front of the mayor because that might set him off.
Something
Just,
you would
you
know
know.
from the night before is that Karn is going to be willing to give you guys as much of the silver coins that he has that you need to get your weapons silvered.
Okay. So yes, we will indeed be stopping by for another custom order. Your work has been wonderful so far.
Oh, excellent. And I'm looking forward to this festival. I've heard the mayor's said many things. I'm sure it's going to be quite a soiree. Loesch
Let's
likes a
hope
good
it.
party.
Yes, perhaps we could take your advice as to the more refined amusements we can add to the party.
Oh, maybe I'll have some suggestions for you later. I know some exclusive acts.
I hope they don't involve a donkey.
No, well, it depends on how you
Well-
define involved.
Ooh. Orion mutters under his breath, as long as it doesn't involve that damn dulcimer player either.
Clintock just slowly starts stepping away from the conversation.
I was wondering when Clintock or Basil were gonna roll the drunks out there. I mean, never mind. Prime opportunities, but never mind. Maybe not
Nobody
today.
woke Basil up.
Well,
Oh, nobody. Oh, right. Basil wasn't there.
the first hints of daylight are beginning, and Loesch is like, oh, that's I see my cue. I must return to my humble abode and freshen up for my day's work. It has been a pleasure. Mayor.
Don't forget about prayers.
Oh, yes. Yes, of course. I think there was some explanations of glee earlier. Yes, they should count now. But, and he kind of bows a little bit and walks to like the little gate. Loesch departing. And they're like, hey, old Loesch. And the gate closes and you hear it go down.
Yeah, wait until he's well gone, and then say, if there's any candidate for lickdom. Don't know how that guy keeps up with his lifestyle otherwise.
So
All drugs.
The mayor is just he's like mumbling. He kind of like Loesch. He walks over and he grabs a piece of cheese, and he kind of sits down like right near the fire, and kind of like almost leans up against. And one of the attendants runs over and grabs him as he almost like slips and catches his robe on fire, and he's just like staggering. And Kanyashenti says, "I think it is time for us to go. I believe the mayor will be resting soon." But at high noon in the admin district, the Short Bread Bakery, we will have the meeting of this planning committee.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
So Kanyashenti walks you to the thing. Kanyashenti and guests leaving, and there's like 3 people. Yay! And you hear the thing. Brucon is waiting for you. and he leads you back to the rejuvenating bog just as it is getting light. There are 5 minutes in between the changing of the guard.
Too bad our friend isn't awake to note the difference.
Well, he could be awake.
That's true.
But yeah, you're back just as it's, beginning to be daylight. It's cold, it's windy. Anything you want to do before you head out?
Well, Orion is going to get some more sleep, damn it. I know, I'm not playing the bard as a party animal. Sorry, guys. And he'll pat Brucon on the back and say, I know we haven't been the easiest party, but your service has been excellent, and slip him another gold piece.
He's like, oh yeah, no. It's you've treated me very well. I thank you for this. He looks
Now,
genuinely surprised.
That's not the same one who helped Karn find the local pastor, was it? It wasn't Brucon.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that was? Okay. Before we leave, he's got a gift for Brucon, but it's going to be when he leaves.
Are you talking about the priest?
No, not for the priest, but for Brucon. We're hooking him up with the priest.
Oh, okay.
Because he kept that silver that was a great and valuable gift. He kept that safe and didn't dip into it. And
Oh, well, that was the guy at the front desk that put it in his box. That's like the
yes.
Oh,
was
yeah,
it.
different guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, before we leave the city at some point, as a matter of fact, at the most convenient point, Karn's going to go back to him and give that guy a couple of his silver pieces that he has, and says to do with it as he will.
Okay.
And because he was honest with all that. That was a massive treasure, basically.
Yeah.
And he's going to reward him and tell him that Cuthbert provides, and here's for you and your family.
Yeah, he is very
A
thankful.
great gift.
Clintock gonna do anything?
No.
Okay.
Just go back to sleep for a little bit before. Go to see about getting some weapons silvered. Clintock is not going to do that, but Felix will be doing that in the background.
Okay. All right. So the morning passes and Brucon is there waiting to escort you guys to the admin district, to the shortbread bakery.
After you.
So he leads you back into town, up near the the Emperor's Palace is right here, not like the mayor's palace, which is sort of outside the city. He leads you up to this. There's these lines outside this shop, and you can smell the fresh baked bread like wafting down the street as you're walking towards it. And people are coming out with various rolls and pastries and things, and then you see people with like baskets full of stuff, like they're headed out. And Brucon leads you there. Kanyashenti is standing right, there's like a line of people, and he is just standing there waiting for you. His robe he's got these bright colored robes that look clean, like obviously another pair he's had. He's standing there with another man who's shorter, who seems to be sweating out here in the freezing cold. He's balding, and he just kind of like looks impatient, like not nervous, just impatient. And Kanyashenti says, "This is the Mott, the Master of Treasury." He just says, yes. Can we get on with the meeting? And he opens the door of the bakery, and you can feel the heat just hit you as these people are scurrying around. And he says, and you hear somebody say, "Welcome to Shortbread Bakery." And a halfling comes around the counter, and Condescension says, "Victor, we will be using the back room." "Oh yeah, whatever you need. Here's I'll bring some bread back there." And Condescension's like, "This is Victor, the owner of the Shortbread Bakery." And yeah, so great to meet all of you. Get those out of the oven. Let's go. And you can see there's all these ovens. There's all this bread being taken out. People are scurrying around. There's only like 3 tables in here for somebody to sit down. So it's not really a hangout. It's more like you come in here and get it and leave.
Yeah.
So he opens a back room. It's very small. There's a table. It's wood. It's just like wood paneling. It's warm in here. There's some glasses of ale already sitting there, and he comes in and drops a small little basket of some different breads, and Condescenti offers you a seat. You all sit down, and there's one chair left. So we are waiting on the representative. A couple minutes pass. The Accursed visor representative is here. Like a formal announcement, and somebody opens a door, and this woman walks in. It's probably she's human, probably about middle age. She sits down. She's like, oh, is it warm in here? Oh yeah. Oh, bread. And she starts like, first thing, starts drinking the ale and just jumping on the bread. She's like, oh, pleased to make all of your acquaintance. I am Fiona. I am with the visor's office, who works directly with the Emperor. The Emperor is currently away on business, but and she's like, "Oh, are you going to eat that?" She grabs another piece of bread. It is so. I've heard about this Festival of Light, and it's very important that we do this upright for, of course, the Emperor is wants to look good. You don't want to embarrass him in front of the king. So this is the planning committee, as I have been told by the mayor. Correct?
Yes, we are obviously the planning committee.
Oh, yes.
Seems we have been
Psychopathy.
So a couple things here. I've heard a few things that the mayor has sent in his preliminary discussions. There's some sort of wrestling tournament. I'm not familiar with this, but whatever the people want, that sounds fine. I've heard something about dancing as well. There'll be some dancing.
Yes, feats of strength, feats of style.
Feats of style. There's singing and performances.
Don't forget the prayers.
Oh, yeah, of course, to the ape spirits we will make sure that all prayers are given to them, as they will bless this ceremony.
And then, of course, to Cuthbert.
You must be the bard in the group. Yes, of course, to Cuthbert.
And I held my chest up real big and say, that is my friend the bard.
You are in training.
But our friend Karn does make some jokes, as of course he realized that the only official religion in the Ape Empire is the ancestors, with a strong look at Karn.
Yes, proper worship. But this pirate, something about this pirate needs to be executed. The Emperor is very concerned that this will not happen, or something will happen. But the king wants to make sure this piracy does not get any legs under it. There's a few we have in the jail that maybe we can, maybe there's a couple hands we could take, but I don't know if you want to get into that, or if you can round up more pirates. That would be, I think, better. That would be a better showing. The Emperor could tell the king, instead of this one dread pirate I took, I managed to got a whole lot of them. If there's more that you could find, I'm sure they're not like this one who just tells us he's a pirate. But that would be helpful.
We can certainly look for we can certainly look for miscreants of that stripe.
Oh, we could
But,
certainly round up many an evildoer between then and now. The more time that we have until the execution, the more evildoers we can find.
Yes, and the mayor said that he wanted this to start in about 3 days. The Emperor will not be available at that time to be part of the opening ceremonies, but the visor is willing to do this if necessary. And the mayor said something about this lasting for 17 days. Is this correct?
Is that what we intended, or is this an invention of the mayor?
That's you. I don't think he ever mentioned how many days it was.
That plays
How long does
into
the
our
festival of lights last? Sorry.
So in the Festival of Light is sort of, the actual festival is like 3 or 4 days, maybe, like you're pushing it.
Yeah, I think the mayor has. Got a few of the details wrong, as it is intended to overlap with the Festival of Lights, but not, go on very much beyond it. There is a point. Well, unlike the mayor, most of the populace doesn't have the stomach for partying multiple days in a row.
I think if we wanted instead to allocate the funds to 17 days, which I think the mayor probably misspoke and really was asking for 7 days for the festival, I think we could make a most extravagant festival on 7 days. And then the execution of the pirate on the 4th day or what have you. I think that would probably.
Don't you think, friend, that the execution should be the crowning event of it all?
Well, no, you want them to ride high on their spirits for the rest of the festival to carry them through.
If you say so. Oh, yes, indeed. I think you're right. About day 4, day 5 would be about perfect, wouldn't it?
I think so, yeah.
And we should round out the various festivities with various entertainment, and as my friend says, feats of strength, feats of skill, added on to the various already mentioned. Quick question: are Felix and Clintock both here, or is it just one of them?
This is just Clintock that's here at the moment.
No, it's Clintock. Okay.
Of course, the Emperor is willing to put some funds towards this festival. They can be picked up at the treasury as soon as possible, and she reaches out of her in her cloak and puts a letter, a sealed note on the table. Of course,
might the parting planning committee get a separate stipend.
Well, this should cover it.
Oh, okay, all right, as long as that's accounted for.
Well, friend Kentok, of course you should be the one in charge of the funds for the party.
Oh, no, I'm pretty sure the treasurer can take care of the funds. I wouldn't want to step on his feet.
Well, that's the treasurer there, signing off for for us to go and pick them up.
Well, fair enough. If I must be bestowed this
You-
position.
You would be the perfect guardian of this treasure.
Well, you will not have to twist my arm further.
And Jules, the master of treasury, reaches over and grabs the envelope. I don't see any reason why you should burden you with this. I will take care of it.
Damn.
I will nod knowingly towards him.
And
Mark tried to hook a brother up.
Yeah, he tried real hard there. We are allowed to withdraw expenses for this festival. It would be useful if we knew some of had a list of the, local entertainment and other services offered. Who can we tap for that?
Kanya Shanti says, I know most of the local entertainment, and I can. Some will perform for. We can talk about it. I will get you a list of those who are willing to participate. She has like gone through all whatever bread and whatever you didn't eat, she has already eaten. Like she's on like the last. You want? I'll take it. She goes ahead and eats the last roll. Oh, it's such good food here. But the mayor, the Emker is looking forward to this. He will be part of the festivities when he returns. The pirate issue needs to be taken care of. Also, least I forget. The pirate, she kind of looks around, will be moved. He is not going to stay in his current location. It is too, we believe his position may be compromised. And that brings me to the second point. There are those in the city who are working, who may work to undermine this festival and embarrass the Emker and the mayor. I don't know if they have religious affiliations, as she kind of turns and looks at Karn, but we have our eyes and ears open.
Oh, Cuthbert would always sanction the execution of a criminal.
Well, he's not here right now, is he? But
I see him everywhere.
he will be moved to the jail soon enough in 3 days. But if you get wind of this, or if if we hear of anything that may jeopardize the success of this, I hope that we will share, and you will share as well, this information.
You'll be the first to know.
I hope so. Oh, well, and I am done. As she looks and sees that the basket of bread is empty, and she downs the rest of her ale, and she says,
I'm sure they can bring you another basket.
Oh, I will get one on the way out. Don't worry. I'll bid you today. And she gets up, and somebody opens the door for her, and she walks out of the room and leaves.
Nice.
Well, obviously, I should be planning when we get the list, I should be planning the entertainment. And it will be, perhaps we can let Cuthbert, let Karn rather plan the feats of strength. since that is certainly within his venue. And then, of course, he can rope in Basil if Basil chooses to, referring to Basil and Essex.
The Ganyashenti says, I know that the mayor has sent special requests for few speakers, and that there are those who will be coming, hopefully, to attend this arm wrestling tournament, and the mayor specifically wants Basil to be his representative.
A bold choice indeed.
But Kanyashenti stands up. There are many things that need to be done. I also have things that need to be taken care of at the mayor's manor. And let us convene in the next day. I will send word if you will be at the Rejuvenating Bog, I assume.
That is certainly the plan.
I will send a message to where we'll meet again. Jules, and the guy stands up sweating. He's got that piece of paper and he puts stuff in his pocket. Yeah, okay.
Friend, are
Yes.
you ill?
Oh, just so hot and this is going to cost a fortune. The mayor is going to have to really tap into his accounts to make this happen. I really hope the donations are plentiful.
Oh, well, certainly they shall be. I think you worry over much.
I worry over my job. I don't want to be I don't want to be up there with that dread pirate.
Oh, why is that?
For not balancing the books. Next thing you know, I'm going to be by the sword as well. He'll accuse me of some sort of embezzlement.
Well, if you have been a good man and of your word and have not done any harm, certainly truth and justice will see that you are cleared of any wrongdoing.
Well, I will tell you that the almighty coin might dispute that. And he takes a gold coin and puts it on the table. He says, for Victor and his troubles. I got to deal with this. He excuses himself, and Kanyashenti opens the door, and they both leave. And now the three of you are there.
Okay.
I mean, as far as actually arranging this, I'll need to see a list of who's available to work out the scheduling. But I tend to agree with you. Clintock, that we should be well paid for this. It is, after all, vitally important work.
Most assuredly.
So we'll have to see what we can squeeze out of, what was the guy's name? Joel?
Oh, we're not squeezing anything out. We're just getting our due penance.
Our fair due. There you go.
Well, shall we get that list and go about our day?
Indeed. Let's see. When was the Cognoscendi going to provide the list of availables?
He'll probably send it to you either this evening or tomorrow.
Okay.
Is anyone worried about them moving the captain?
Very. They may take them to somewhere that's more secure that even a were creature can't escape from.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to find out about said jail.
So we may need to have a plan B and even a plan C. There's also a weakness there with that guy who's in charge of the treasury. He's very worried about the coin, so maybe a useful application of extra coin, maybe be able to bribe him into some impropriety. Do something to help one of our plan B or C's.
Karn Stone.
I was gonna say the bard's going right. It's right. He is resisting. He is resisting another, another invasive religion.
Might we visit the jail and see if there are any inmates that might be released on work release for the arm wrestling competition?
Or for labor during the setup.
Well, and it wouldn't be a bad idea to scope out the jail while we were there.
Perhaps some of the prisoners in the jail are not under a sentence of execution.
That too.
As such, they could be granted some temporary release to add flavor to this feats of strength contest that we're going to have.
I'm glad we're on the same page, Karn.
Surely not everybody in jail is sentenced to die.
Be rather sad if they lost their arm wrestling arm the day before the competition, though.
What's the plan? You guys gonna scope out the jail? It is right in this area. You are in the admin district. The
Okay.
jail is like right near. It is nearby.
Harden's got his dog with him.
Oh, that's
He'll,
right.
Be outside the jail and be working on while they're scoping it out. He'll also be paying attention to what's going on outside under the guise of he's playing fetch with his dog, doing his daily exercises and training and working on the commands and sit and heal and so on and so forth.
Nice.
He's still calling him dog, waiting for the dog to tell him his name.
You wait.
Sorry, the druid's dead. Can't talk with the dog.
Karn says Cuthbert will reveal all in due time.
Oh, wait a minute. Stupid me. I forgot. Bards actually have the druid. Bards have the druidic spell list. Orion says, do you want me to talk to the dog and ask him what name he wants?
I would prefer to establish our communication on our own. Eventually,
Very
he'll
well,
speak
then.
to me. But thank you. Thank you very much.
Let's go scope out the jail. And once we're out and about, and not, in a building where we might be overheard, I'll sort of, say low voice, yeah, we need to ask inmates as much as they know about the jail. I quite agree. I just didn't want to discuss too much in somebody else's business,
All right, so Brucon is waiting. You guys exit the bakery. Victor kind of waves to the halfling, waves to you.
Wonderful food, Victor. Wonderful.
Yeah, come by anytime. And he's grabbing a hot tray, dumping the rolls onto the counter, and they're putting them in. And there's still a line out the door. People are just getting bread. You walk past a few more buildings, past the Emperor's Palace. You see some guards. You go down a road, you're like on the opposite side of the Emperor's Palace. You see the Chancery, basically the courthouse with the columns and some people having, polite, educated discussions outside.
I was gonna say, while we're on the way, let's ask Brucon if there's such a thing as visiting people in jail or work release. I don't want to get there and find out that oh hell no, you don't get to talk to the prisoners or anything like that.
Rukon's like, I don't know. It is a very unpleasant experience in that jail. That's all I will say.
I sort of look at the other two and say, if necessary, we can always drop the mayor's name and see about getting some extra manual labor to set up the festival.
Okay. So behind the chancery is a small squat building. It's probably just 2 stories. And it's got very small, window, looks like arrow slit windows. And there is a gate, like a barred gate in front of it. And there's 2 soldiers standing there in full plate with swords, and they are wearing like purple, kind of like a purple sash that's got some kind of emblem on it, most likely the Ape Empire, the Emperor's emblem. And there's nobody loitering about. There's nobody having conversations or anything. It's just kind of like when you walk up, you 4 are the only ones walking up.
Is there grass near about, lawn, field?
Yeah, to the side, there's a little grass area. Some
I
scrub.
just pretend like the gardens don't exist and walk over there, start doing drills with my dog.
Okay. They seem to look and then just realize you're no threat.
Clintock will just look at the bard, trying to make eye contact.
Yeah.
Do you want to introduce us?
So you're putting it off on me, are you?
You're the one with the golden.
Fine. Right. The guy with higher charisma. You're right. Can't stick around too long, or the guards are eyeball us. But I'll walk up to the guards and say, welcome, my friends here. My friends here have been appointed by the mayor to be on the festival committee, and we were wondering if there's such a thing as work release for the less dangerous inmates, so we can use them for cheap labor to set up the festival.
Give me a 2d6 roll, add your charisma modifier.
Charisma modifier, which is all of 1, but okay. Survey says, holy cow, 6 and 5. Plus 1.
Wow. Okay. One walks up to you. The other one kind of, because they're on both sides of these steps that go up to this double iron gated door. And one steps on the steps. The other one comes forward and it's got the spear. Looks like he's going to drop the spear. And then he's kind of takes a look at you. He listens to what you said. He's like, oh, you talk about the Festival of Light. Do you have any
No.
What are you talking about?
The mayor's new festival to go overlap and go with the Festival of Lights, the Festival of Justice.
He looks back.
Surely you've heard of this.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard some. That's what those bards were singing this morning. It was a really, really, it was a unique song.
The locals cannot do justice to my brilliance.
Oh, that's your song?
Sure, I'll whip out the flute and do a quick little melody, not the whole thing, but enough to rip it off, enough to rip through it.
That makes complete sense now. That other thing was a pile of shit. I don't know, like you need to stop them because they're really. I mean,
Oh.
yeah, that turn of they have that other turn of phrase backwards. That's why it doesn't make any sense. But you've the bridge is good, and yeah, it's okay. So what does the mayor need?
Well, it's going to take a lot of setup. It's going to take a lot of setup to set up some of the areas of this festival, and we were wondering if there were, less violent prisoners that could be used for work release and manual labor.
Yeah, work release.
Who would we
Right.
talk to about that?
The supervisor inside. Let us. Yeah, come on in. So he's the good. He's the guy with. He looks at the other guy. He's the guy with the song. Yeah. Oh yeah. So they walk up and one of them says, "Is there really going to be free beer this whole thing?"
Absolutely.
Looking straight. Yep.
Okay.
Look him in the eye. Free fucking beer.
So one of them, they both pull out keys and unlock each side, and this gate kind of opens to these doors, and they open the door, and you just kind of walk into this like hall area, and there's a desk, and as soon as you walk in, it smells musty and mildewy. It's like no ventilation in here. And there is a guy in full plate standing at the behind. There's another gate in front of him, and he's just kind of sitting. He's standing. There's like a little stool there, and he's just sitting there, and you can tell he's probably sweating his ass off. And he kind of looks, and one guy says, "Yeah, they work release." Guy's like, he takes his helmet off, and just his hair is matted down from all the sweat. Drops it. He's like, "So what's this about work release? You have some kind of writ or something?"
Oh, well, we're just in the preliminary planning stages. You heard the new festival the mayor is planning. It will require quite a bit of labor, and we were wondering about. We're on the planning committee. We were wondering about getting some of the prisoners out for work release.
My friend here speaks the truth, but to be honest, the MCUR is not one to wait for proper paperwork and all of these other things. He's very interested that these festivities go off without a hitch, and planning has to begin immediately, as well as prep. So, if this one time we can get you the paperwork, but it will probably be a couple of days late. If we could already go ahead and kind of just have the work release.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, I know how the MCUR can be, and I think he's away, so yeah, that would make sense. And I know this festival it's a big deal. Both you guys give me a D6 roll.
3.
Five.
It might do some good to get these guys out of here. So what, are they just gonna be setting up and stuff? When do you need them now?
Well, we need to know what's available. Can we do a quick interview now?
Yeah, there's probably 8 of them that are probably be okay. They'll be all right to do this. Frankly, a couple of them could just disappear, and that'd be fine with me. But I mean, you want to check them out first? Is that what it is?
Sure, we just want to check them out, see who's going to be best for this sort of work.
He walks over to a book that's on like a chain. It's like sitting in a sleeve, and he pulls this book out, sets it on his little stool, and starts flipping through it, wiping the sweat off his face. He's like, okay, all right, and he makes a couple notes. He looks at it. All right, he has one of the guys stand there. He's like, all right, follow me, and he takes out a key and unlocks the door, and then one of the other guys pulls another key, and they unlock another lock and open the door, and you go down these steps again. It's moldy, and you can really smell it now, and it stinks of BO and other bodily fluids. You probably have to cover your mouth because, you know, if you're sensitive to smells, because it's nasty. You walk down this couple steps and there's just, it splits. It goes either way. It's like a T, and there's these cells, and it's wet. You can hear dripping water, some mumbling. People are yelling. He goes up to one of the cells and he's like, there's one right here, and there's a human guy with like no teeth. And he's got a scar on the side of his face, and he kind of like leans up at the bars. He's like, I got guess. What's this about?
This is about getting you out in the fresh air for a couple of days.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I could use some fresh air.
And I'll channel my best. I'll channel my best Basil of Bessic's fame and go, how are your arms there?
They're kind of, doesn't look like he's got much muscle tone. The shirt he's wearing is kind of raggedy, and he's got some raggedy cut off pants. His cell has got like, it's got like mold growing all the way in the corner, and there's a hole, you know, for the bathroom. And there's like a little tray sitting on the side that's like scraps of food that he's eaten, and you can see like a little mouse or rat eating some of it. Don't worry, Leroy, you can have all you want.
Oops.
What kind of you got any skills with carpentry or stonework? We got a possibility for work release coming up shortly. Gonna be a festival, and we need some setup.
Yeah, I could festival. That'd be good. I can do all that kind of stuff. You just put a hammer or a pick in my hand, or a knife. That would work too.
Oh, what's you in for?
Just taking things a little bit too far.
Everybody, that happens to everybody sooner or later.
Or not far enough.
All right, you sound like a good candidate. We're just doing the interviews right now, but we'll be back in a day or two.
Oh, okay.
Let's see what else we gotta. Who else we got to deal? Who else we can deal with? Of course, you know, without trying to be too damned obvious about it, use the time to look around, scope the layout, note where each of these guys keeps their keys, especially.
What Karn's going to be doing is he's looking for the opportunity to occasionally, when he throws a stick for the dog to fetch, you know, to sort of let the stick go errant and, you know, try to spy any kind of weaknesses in the walls or in entrances that he can find. I mean, he's an expert at militia type of things. He's looking for ways to break in from the outside.
Okay.
Looking for weaknesses in the defense. But that's why he didn't go inside with you guys. He figured amongst the M Corps like that, his talk of Cuthbert would already be bad.
Yeah, it would be an awfully short trip to jail if people arrested you for apostasy or heresy or whatever it is.
Right, right.
Oh
And
look, you showed up right where you need to be. Come on, we're going with it.
yeah, he's not completely unaware that he's not welcome, but he will never deny Cuthbert. So there's going to be some places where he just knows he's got to keep his mouth shut or not be involved. So while you guys are inside doing that, he's using the opportunity to try to scout for weaknesses. Maybe he can find, it looks like some past prisoner was working on breaking out. And
Okay.
this particular bar looks like it's been weakened a little bit because they sat there for years with a file,
Okay.
stuff like that.
All right. So you have the dog with you. Give me a
Yeah.
D6. Give me a D6 roll.
Okay. 4.
All right. So yeah, you're throwing the stick. So as far as you can tell, that this building's pretty secure. And one of the guards is kind of now watching you. As he is standing outside. He is the only guard outside as the rest of them gone in. For you guys, you realize that in order to get in, the two guards outside both used a key, and then to get downstairs, the one guy who was the supervisor used a key, and then one of the guards used a key.
2 keys, one guy holding one key, one guy holding another key.
Paul, give me a D10 roll.
Okay. 3.
So you're going to interview the next person.
Yeah.
Yep.
The guard tells you as you leave that this person is in here because he stabbed a shop owner over a dispute.
Ooh.
Now, what was the previous guy in for then?
Oh, the guy that you just talked to was.
Oh, that was the one we just talked to.
Right.
Yeah.
Taking things too far, right? Interview the next guy.
So the next guy sitting back in the corner, he looks very emaciated.
When was the last time you ate, pal?
This food, they don't give me nothing. This food's terrible.
Don't eat something, you're gonna die soon.
And that's bad. Why?
I don't know. What are you in here for?
For just being me.
Next.
Yeah.
I literally just say that to the guy that's giving us a tour.
Yeah, this guy stole goods from one of the Accursed ships.
Ah, real pirate.
Not really. No, it was right off the dock. He tried to swipe something off the dock and take off with it.
Gotcha.
Says he couldn't help it. It's just who he was.
Ah,
Yes, we're all imperfect versions of ourselves, indeed.
Paul, give me another D10 roll.
Absolutely. Let's see here. A 9. And right now we're working on sit, shake, lay down, and roll over.
All right. The guard seems to be kind of like interested in what you're doing. He's kind of like watching. He seems to pay more attention to what you're doing now because you're doing those commands.
Yeah, I mean, who thinks ill of a guy sitting there playing with his dog?
Right. The last two are humans. This is an elf. And he's just kind of,
Okay.
he comes up, he hears the talking, and he's checking you guys out.
Well, I'll give him the spiel, hey, you could have a good behavior, you could have a few days outside, helping set up a festival. So what kind of skills has he got that would work for that?
Well, he says, I never given any of these guys any hard time in here. I have been a model prisoner.
Sort of not what I was asking about. I know that makes it easy to get.
I could do
easy to
labor
get
if this
easier
is what you're asking. I mean, My ancestors worked in the salt mines. I can do manual labor if this is what you want.
Yep, that's what we need. And you got any special skills? Carpentry, stonework, stuff like that?
Uh,
How's your grip?
uh, I can handle myself in a scrap if I have to. If that's what you're asking. So when he mentioned salt mines, that's a specific reference. You would know that there's in Lindbergh is the capital of Ape Empire. And there is the Lindbergh salt mines. It's very famous where they send criminals. So, when he says that my ancestors worked in the salt mines means that probably his ancestors were criminals too. Or the fact that he was an elf and they sent them there.
All righty. Who else we got to talk to?
As he grabs, he kind of tries to stop one. He says, will there happen to be a drink or something at this work release? Maybe?
Big fucking beer.
Oh, I have it on good authority. The whole festival we'll have free fucking beer.
He tries to get his hand through the bar and like grips your shoulder, and he says, don't you joke with me like that. Are you serious?
He is serious.
Out of the mayor's pocket.
A generous donation from the mayor.
He kind of looks at the guard and then looks at you guys. Orion, give me a strength roll.
Oh, okay. What the hell strength do I have? All right, strength of 11. You want a D20, right?
Yep, and roll under your strength.
I can. By 1, 10 with a strength of 11.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good grip, and you kind of managed to like pull away without Clintock helping you.
Okay.
And he looks
Oh,
at
yeah,
you he's
just-
looking at you very intently.
I look over at the supervisors leading us around and go, let me guess, drunk and disorderly.
You got that right.
All right. We got anybody else?
Paul, give me a D10 roll.
Okay. We've finished working on the tricks that we were doing right then. And I look at him and say, dog, sit, dog, stay. I walk over to the guard and I hand him a small piece of jerky. I reach out a hand with a small piece of jerky and then go, hey man, give me a hand here. I say, work with me just a moment, would you? And I'm going to hand him a small piece of beef jerky.
Okay. And he's like, oh, okay.
Just go with it. Give me a moment. And he goes, oh, here. And the dog comes running over. You know, it says it'll go with your commands and so on and so forth as a hunting dog.
Right.
And then he says, big. And so I guess, the dog would do something like, stand up on his hind legs and wag his front paws. And he nudges the guy and says, give him that, give him that.
And yeah, he hands him the treat.
Which makes him happy. I get another 9. We're here a little after lunchtime, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Karn's going to make a habit of coming here after lunch for the next couple of days with his dog.
Okay.
He's going to try to make friends with this guard because who doesn't love his dog?
Same time, is there any conjuring that we're wandering around that we're close enough to like drop a couple of words to each other without the supervisor hearing?
Yeah, you can do that.
Which one of these two has been with Ox the longest?
I don't think Clintock or Karn has ever met Ox. No, they just got hired through him.
Okay. I don't think my characters has officially met Ox. Great.
Yeah.
We're working for Charlie. But we sure as hell aren't his angels.
So yeah, you pass the guy who is all excited, not excited, but he's pretty serious about whether there's going to be alcohol or not at this event. You come to the next person who is standing, like squatting in the back of the cell. All the cells look the same. I mean, they got the hole and they've got the little they got like a bedroll and maybe a couple cups or something that they've left in there for water. This is a hobgoblin and he's just sitting in the back, kind of like staring at you guys.
Can you do any tricks?
And he stands up and he is hulking, like huge. He's got huge back, shoulders, and he starts to walk. Like what kind?
This is your cue. Point to
Points at me? How did you? Yeah. You ever been in an arm wrestling tournament? You look the type.
Will it get me out of here?
Just be for a couple of days. Set up and labor for a festival. You got any particular skills we should know about? You know, carpentry, stonework, tossing people a block or three, stuff like that.
I could do those things if you need them properly instructed.
Oh, it seems like you're the man for the job. No further questions.
Really?
And the supervisor
I'd have to put.
says, just keep them away from the open flames.
I see.
Okay.
We don't need that kind of festival of light.
Yeah, you know, but every contest of strength needs a ringer, you know? Somebody who looks like they're gonna win, but makes a good show and then doesn't end up winning. It makes for good betting. You would know about that, right? He looks like the perfect ringer for a contest of strength, in addition to being, you know, good for construction.
So he brings you to the next guy, and he's kind of rail thin, but doesn't look emaciated. He's just skinny. He's human. Got a beard. Few rotten teeth.
How long can you dance for?
Dancing? I've been listening. I'm good with a shovel.
Okay, yeah, we need people with shovels. That's good.
I can. If you need to, I might be able to perform.
What talents?
You said dancing. If you need me to
Oh,
dance.
yes. You're quite good at it, I assume.
No, terrible.
No. Wow. Maybe your skills are better suited towards shoveling then. Don't worry, there's plenty to shovel.
There is.
Oh, yes. The latrines won't dig themselves.
6 feet, I would assume.
Oh, at least.
Do that in a pinch.
Wow. I'm surprised you're still in here.
Oh. Technicalities.
How technical.
Well, between my legal representation and and Clinkville.
Ah, say no more. They are sticklers.
And the supervisor looks at you and he's like grave robbing.
Real good with a shovel.
Good with a shovel indeed.
The next person you come across is sitting in the cell, and she is missing an arm.
I'll lean over to Orion and say, the other arm must be twice as strong.
Yeah, she could make it good for a different type of ringer there. You know, the underdog. So I'll look at her and go, well, your friend, everybody's telling us sound carries here. Did you hear what we had to say already?
And she gets up and she kind of squints. You remind me of my ex. Gets kind of close to Orion.
He gets that a lot.
I'll look at her and say, yeah. You don't remind me of my ex. Let's see. Last time I saw her, she was 9 feet tall, had black claws and warts, and well, we won't go there. You got any skills we should know about that you can work with your
Pretty handy with a
problem
hatchet.
there? Next.
Wow.
I look at the supervisor. Let me guess. Assault with intent to kill, yes?
Attempted murder.
And it was, yes.
Outside, Karn is going through some other drills with his dog, and he's trying to involve this guard as much as he can. Like, hey, see if he'll shake your hand. Tell him to shake. Good boy, and so on and so forth. Trying to endear himself and his dog to the guard.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, yeah, wow, that's. He kind of looks around. At first, he was looking back at the entrance, and now he's not even focused on it.
Yeah. Everybody has fun playing with the dog, right?
Right. You come up next to the next person, who is sitting on a stool, and they are an Arcone.
Huh. That's the dragon folk or equivalent.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Stool. That means he has special privileges. Because nobody else gets a stool.
Yeah, this is the first person you've seen with a stool.
I'll ask him, how'd you rate a stool?
A good friend of mine managed to get it in here for me.
Music to my ears. I mean, we already know this, but the guards can be persuaded. Well, apparently our voices echo around here. You got any skills that would be good for construction work?
Manual labor, I am not the best at, but I can any type of if you need to hand banners or any kind of clothing needs to be done or costumes or things of that nature. I'm good with the needle.
Oh, I'm sure there will be a last minute need for banners. After all, one must customize things to the festival. Do you do design work too?
I have in the past.
I'll sort of draw Clintock off to the side and go, I want to try to get this one out early. We're not set up for the heavy work yet, but he could definitely start on a design if necessary.
Yeah, you could start on some designs for sure. There are many things that need to be designed still.
All right, so Karn,
Oh,
you're outside and this guy is like, all involved with you and the dog and teaching the dog something. And he as you you're throwing the stick and he's picking it up and then you teaching him to sit and then you walk over somewhere and like throw the, all the different commands and stuff. And he's kind of doing as he's walking over that and he's like, whoa, stop, careful. And he walks over and he points out to you kind of like 20 feet from the prison. You didn't notice it before, but now you do. There's like a square and he's like, that, oh, careful, there's a grate there. That's the emergency access to the jail. Don't you'll hurt yourself if you step on that thing. I don't know how sturdy it is. He walks over and kind of taps on it. You can hear it, but it's kind of covered over with some grass and stuff.
Oh, well, thank you, good sir.
Yeah, we had one guy, he was out like 20 days with a turned ankle. I had to work doubles.
It's a terrible thing to have happen. I mean, it just seems kind of like a bad place to put this. I mean, maybe it should have been underneath of a bridge or something like that. But I mean, I'm not one to judge.
They wanted an extra access in case any of the guards got trapped down there, they could get out.
Oh, that's a great idea. Because sometimes these prisoners, the evil ones are crafty. Sometimes they can manage to get out of their cells and they turn from the prison.
Yeah.
Always a good idea to have a way to get out of there. Have you heard what we're going to be doing with the execution coming
up? No, but I heard some pirate. But they're not being held
and he
here.
Pulls out the sword and he says, "This is the sword that's destined for that pirate."
He's baffled by it. It's like, what kind of sword is that?
Well, my friend explained it to me that it's really good against the undead and it's very rare indeed. But the mayor himself gave this to me.
Whoa, the mayor himself?
Yes, sir. He is trying to talk me into doing the execution myself. And this is supposed to be the undoing of that pirate. But you know me, I'm a simple man. I follow the gods and I love my dog.
Can't go wrong with that.
Oh, no. What is your name?
Newman.
Newman. I am Carnstone. It is very good to make your acquaintance. Would you perhaps be interested in meeting up tomorrow morning for breakfast and prayers?
Um, let's see. Yeah. How early are you talking about?
Oh, I know that not everybody gets up as early as me. Maybe 6 a.m.
I could do 6 o'clock. I have to be here at well, it has to be earlier than that. It's uh, when it's finally light.
Oh, so you work the day shift here
Yes.
every day.
No, I do get a day off.
Oh, well, tomorrow's not your day off. Let's say I'm awake at 3:30 a.m. every day. And I can meet you anytime after 4:30.
Um,
We can commune.
yes.
I'm buying.
Well, the Dark Fang. I mean, it's not far from here, and I could easily get to work.
Certainly. Breakfast and prayers at the Dark Fang tomorrow morning.
Well, it's great to meet you, Carnstone. And he kind of realizes, like, oh, and he kind of and he kind of hustles back to the front door there, kind of looking around, make sure nobody noticed that he's been basically playing with the dog and talking to Karn the whole time.
And Cart sticks his hand out and says, "Duty first. Never forget that."
Yeah, right. And bring that sword. I want to see that again.
Absolutely. Tell all your friends about it.
All right. The supervisor says the Arcone. He says terrorism.
Oh,
Really? He doesn't seem the type. What did he actually do?
He attempted to blow up the Empress Palace.
yikes. I'm surprised he's still alive after that.
Let's just say that he is alive due to there's a lot more involved in his case than most of the others. This is what they settled on.
Interesting.
And in your mind, Clintock and Orion, you hear him say, these are lies.
Oh,
We can work with you as long as you truly do not like the current administration.
That was yeah, that's the
Said mentally.
okay. So you come up to the last guy. He says everybody else he wouldn't trust outside the jail for a second. The last guy you come up to, and he's got his hands on the bars. He's like, "Blessed be Saint Cuthbert that you have come down here." And that guy, the supervisor, wraps his knuckles with like his fist. Ow! He's like, "What did I tell you about that? Come on." Oh, blessed be Saint Cuthbert this day that you've come here. I can do anything. What do you need me to do? I can dig, I can hammer, I can shovel, I can jump, I can run, I can do whatever you need. For this is a glorious day.
Can you keep your mouth shut for 5 minutes when it's necessary?
Oh, if it is Cuthbert's will, I will keep my mouth shut.
I don't know, Clintock. Can we handle 2 of them?
I mean, is really another one any worse?
My real problem is these guys never learned harmonized properly. If they would just keep their messages in harmony, it would make it so much more palatable. But they just keep trying to get louder than each other when this happens, every time. I turn to the supervisor and say, let me guess. Whatever the actual charge is, this guy is in because he can't shut up when he needs to, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
So what was the actual charge, if you don't mind?
Proselytizing.
Heresy.
Nice.
Yes, I admitted to it as well.
Awfully noble of you.
I am fortunate that St. Cuthbert has put me in for a reason. Maybe it is for this day for me to meet you two.
Most assuredly.
Yes, I do suspect some, how shall we say this, divine interference in this event. Just the heavy work isn't going to start immediately. We don't want them all, but can we get the Arcone and the Cuthbert fanatic?
For release, when you would just have to go to the chancery and get the release signed by the judge there.
Okay.
You have my approval to take them if you wish, but I cannot release them to you right now. I understand that the Emperor is away, and this is, as your friend had said, this is high priority and needs to be done. But just tell them that these are one of the these two are okay to be released as far as I'm concerned.
Could you write us a brief note to that extent?
I'll do that, yes. So he gets out a piece of parchment and he writes, like approval of, prisoner, gives them, whatever number they are, and, writes their crime down.
And then uses some sort of seal or signs it? How does he mark it?
He'll sign it. He doesn't seal it. He just folds it up. He kind of gives he puts his autograph on there and puts like some kind of notation, like his official standing, like, supervisor in charge or something. He said, folds it up. He said, this, but it's up to the judge. Of course, I don't have, he makes the ultimate decision.
Sure. But we appreciate the letter and for the tour.
Yes, there'll be two less we have to worry about.
And does he know when? I'm sure the judge has specific hours, etc. So we'll need to know when the judge is in and when the judge hears this particular.
You can head over there now and kind of wait in line.
Gotcha.
And then when they have time, they will, hear your case.
Okay. Thank you. Much appreciated.
And as you walk by, you hear the woman say, "Come back anytime, sweetheart."
Make sure to bring an axe with you next time. I think that'll help. Be a nice gift.
Oh, I was thinking it would be perfect if she showed up when my other unwanted egg showed up. Cat fights are always fun.
Should be like a meat shield. You could get her as a retainer.
Oh,
So they let you out, they unlock the doors and you watch the procedure and you're already sweating, like being down there, it stinks, it smells, it's hot, it's humid, it's nasty. And you're just pouring with sweat. It's coming off you and you go outside and that cold wind, it feels so good because it's like barely 40 degrees. It's like, oh, it feels so good out here. And Karn's out there playing with his dog. Well, probably the dog is like laying down sleeping because he's tired, all this exercise.
Karn's laying down next to the dog. rubbing his
So,
He's bonding, looking into his eyes and building oxytocin. When he got shown the place not to step and be careful of it, did he happen to notice if there were any locks or anything? He didn't ask any questions like that. He just sort of looked.
give me a 2D D6 roll.
2d6?
Just a straight up D6.
D6. 5.
There's no obvious locks. You figure that to open it, you would have to move some of the grass is like grown around it and stuff. So you'd have to pull some of that grass out to find out how it opens.
And it'd be kind of obvious to the guards that are working that you were doing something like that.
Yeah, but it's on like the side of the building, so it's not in sight.
Okay.
Like they'd have to walk around and see what you were doing.
Okay. Okay. I figure things like this are within his wheelhouse because
Yeah.
reconnaissance infiltration of a fortress or guarded areas, military minded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you would figure this was done like a long, long time ago. Like this was something they installed when they built it. And so it's probably like 200 years old. And it's just something they just kept.
They haven't had to use it in a very long time.
No.
So it's grown over it. It's hard to
Yeah.
notice.
Yeah, and it's more of a hazard when they go walking around like on patrol or whatever.
And he didn't notice any sentries or anything that kept a normal eye on this area.
No.
Okay.
No one suspects the jailbreak in the middle of the day.
in the middle of the day, right?
Right.
You want to try to get those two guys now, or do you think we need more authorization?
Oh no, I think we're fine. We can figure it out. Just go see the chancellor.
Okay. And once we're out of earshot of anybody else, I go, there's like a plan C here. Plan C is to our friend with the rat, have him bring his pet out. Of course, it won't be Leroy that comes. If you get my drift.
The rats. Well, Ox is a were rat, right?
Yeah.
From what you've heard.
Yeah. Is that what you're referring
Do
to?
we know?
Is plan
Yeah.
leave it up to Ox
yeah.
to get himself out?
Does anybody know how big a were rat actually is? I mean, are we talking this, or are we talking?
We're talking
the
a humanoid that looks
Human
kind of
size,
like a
right?
human rat.
A human rat, yeah.
Human /
Oh.
rat. Yeah.
So we can't smuggle him out as a rat type rat. Oh darn!
But I think a rat can fit between areas that a human wouldn't be able to. Like he could probably squeeze between the bars. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I'm guessing like that's what Ox had in mind, is that he could squeeze between regular bars. But if this place has got updated security and stuff like that, there's more than bars in its way.
Yeah, gonna be fun one way or the other.
So plan C is to leave it up to Ox. What's plan A? This probably isn't something that we want to discuss in the middle of the street.
Yeah, probably somewhere else.
Yeah, eventually Karn would reveal that he stayed outside to do some reconnaissance, has found a back way entrance into the jail, and has sort of made friends with the guard. The only thing is he kind of likes this guy. The dude was cool to his dog, so he doesn't want to see this dude get his throat slit in the middle of the night or in the morning or at lunchtime or anything like that. But perhaps this dude could join us.
We do it when somebody else is on duty, one way or the other.
Well, we know this guy can be distracted, so maybe at the very least, Karn is thinking along the lines, if the guy won't join us, at the very least, he might be able to be distracted while somebody else opens up the side tunnel and sneaks in and works Ox out, while maybe Karn is sitting out there playing with the dog, with the guard, and distracting him.
Right. So we got, wow, Karn, I'm impressed. Little subterfuge and planning for jailbreaking. We'll have you
Infiltration
we'll
of
have
a
you come around.
infiltration of a fortified position? Why wouldn't a paladin have a good grasp on that?
Well, we'll have you more flexibly minded. We'll have you more flexibly minded sooner or later.
So you headed to the
Chancellor's office.
Chancery, okay?
I look over at Clintock and said, "Did you hear that?"
Is that rattling?
No. From the from the Arcone.
Oh, yeah. It's a neat parlor trick. Probably pretty
Wow. I was going to say, silent communication sounds like something that would be terribly useful, especially since, no obvious gestures, magic, etc.
Well, with any luck, he will soon be a member of our retinue.
Yeah, you head over there. I'm sure you don't tell Karn about the other guy.
He'll find out soon. He'll find out soon enough.
Don't get his hopes up.
So past the columns and the steps up to this huge wooden carved door with a bunch of symbols on it. Yeah, that is another thing you did notice at the prison. It had a bunch of symbols all over it.
Okay.
As in magical?
As in runes, probably to prevent magic. They were probably hard to see because of the mold that was growing on the outside and the dirt, but you did see them. You see them much better at the Chancery, as it's like like a fine stone, but they're all carved everywhere on the door. And you open it up and go in. There's a big grand hall, and there's a lot more apes in here, and some humans and dwarfs in noble or upper class robes, and talking, and there's a information like booth in the middle, and they point you to like a line, and you get in this line to see this judge, and these different people have just got papers, and they're all just kind of like talking to each other, waiting in this line. And then you are next. It goes about like an hour. You walk into this room, and there's a ape who is like graying in robes. They're purple with like gold trim, and he's just kind of sitting there, and it almost looks like a throne because it's like extends way beyond him, with like some signs written in the ape language. Come forth. What is your request?
Karn probably stayed outside.
You didn't go inside?
No.
Do I know the proper address for a judge?
They would just say to Just
Your
call it.
Honor, like,
Yeah.
Your Honor, we seek a work release of 2 prisoners in order to use them for labor for the upcoming festival edition that the mayor has put into place. And I will hold up. You don't approach a judge without giving permission, but I'll hold up, the supervisor at the prison has given his permission. I'll hold up the slip.
He says, approach. There's nobody else in here with him. He is the only one, just you 3. And he kind of leans over and
Okay.
grabs that piece of paper, I assume.
Yeah.
He looks at it. He chuckles. I don't work release for a proselytizer and a terrorist. Don't know why I would allow them to be back on the streets of Clinkville. Yes, yes, sir, go ahead, speak.
The supervisor said that they were, on their way to being reformed, and that they wanted to be a part of the Festival of Light to show their newfound admiration for the Immaker.
Give me a 2d6 roll, add your charisma modifier.
6.
Back both the sentence. Reformed, you say? It sounds to me that I would think that those who work at the prison, the jail, and its horrid conditions just don't want to deal with as many prisoners as it can fit. But you maybe there's a chance for these 2 to make something of themselves during this festival. I assume they will be returned to the jail once it's over. How many days do you need them?
Oh, absolutely. For the next week maximally, we might release them back to the prison earlier if their work is done sooner.
I will grant you. Your name is?
Clintock, Your Honor.
Clintock. As either one of these individuals you personally know?
No, I do not personally know them. For I have merely met them through the course of a thorough survey of the resources at the prison.
And the other one, he looks at Orion. And your name is?
Orion.
Orion. Did either one you personally know?
Nope, I do not know either one of them, other than our short acquaintance at the prison. Oh, Orion has the last name. He'd give it. Addercapper.
Addercapper. Very well. Well, I've heard there has been rumors and speaking in the back chambers about how this festival is going to be bigger, one of the biggest ones in recent history. It would make sense that we would need plenty of workers to complete this, and this would really do well for the Emker and the mayor to see those put in jail reformed and contributing to our society in positive ways. Therefore, and he reaches over onto his desk and grabs a piece of parchment, starts, like writing something out. I shall release these 2 individuals in Clintock, you shall take responsibility for the terrorist. If he is found doing anything slightly illegal, both of you will enjoy the rest of the sentence that he owes together.
Yes, Your Honor. I
And
take
he
full
writes out-
responsibility.
That is exactly what I wanted to hear.
Woo!
And Orion, you will take the proselytizer, and you will do the same. If he is found saying any words about whatever god that he thinks he wants to worship, you will also join him for the rest of his sentence that he has. That they will be returned in 8
Understood, Your
days.
Honor, and agreed.
So he fills out like a piece of parchment and he hands them both to you. He reaches up and like rings a bell. The side door opens and somebody robes comes out, looks at that piece of paper and gets you to sign it. You both of you sign it and they put like a stamp on it, making some notes, and they hand you like a receipt. Bid you good day.
There, Your Honor.
Good day, Your Honor.
So the 10th, so the 18th, you're on day 10, the 18th is 8 days. You are to return these two back to the jail. So basically you can just go to the jail and pick them up.
Nice.
Okay.
And you guys walk out of the chancery, having secured two workers for your responsibility.
Fantastic.
And Karn sticking
I'm
out.
sure
like-
this won't. I'm sure this won't be an extra complication. Of course not. I'm sure they don't have their own agendas. Of course not. At least it'll make a good story in the end, no matter what.
The story's going to
So,
be, we can never come back here again.
yeah, really. So we got names for these folks now?
I am gonna get you their names here. 1 second. So yeah, you guys head out back over to the prison. You hand the receipt. They're like shocked that you actually got this. The supervisor kind of checks and double checks it, like didn't really think it was gonna happen.
What can I say? The Chancellor just wants this festival to be as good as the rest of us.
I guess so.
Yeah. Out of character. Boy, you know, the piracy charges may be overblown or even completely fallacious. But by the time we finish here, the rest we're going to be executed on site anyway. Oh well.
Yeah, there could be a lot of conspiracy charges for sure.
Yeah, we're going to be in the middle of some shit by the end of this. This is not going to end well for us.
But it'll be a good story for the amount of time that we're free.
Karn's one concern is as he's making friends with this guy at the gate, he knows he's going to take advantage of him. But at the same time, because the guy was able to be taken advantage of by such a simplistic method as, oh, you liked my dog, the guard can't be a bad guy. And so he doesn't want to see him get killed or something over it, and he'll try to protect him.
Okay, we'll see what we can do.
I mean, just fair warning to everybody, and
Fair warning that we may have to knock out Karn and kidnap him.
yes,
Pull it.
pull a BA
Pull an
Baracus
18.
with card.
Right, pull an 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get these guys, like they can't believe they're being released. the supervisor, so there's the locks are double locks, so the supervisor unlocks it, and then one of the guards comes over with the key and he unlocks it.
Okay.
And they're like, what? The Arcone doesn't, he leaves the stool. They don't have much to collect. There's nothing really. They're just kind of like, they have a ratty shirt with some short cut off shorts and sandals. And they just kind of walk out and they're just kind of doing this because there's just like firelight down here. So they come out in the daylight and you can just see them. And Docs walks down the steps and just kind of kneels and lays on the grass. And the other guy's like, "Hail, Cuthbert, I am finally out." Oh,
Brother.
Brother, who
And
said
I will quickly lock my arm around his neck, drag him to Karn, drag him in front of the Karn, and look both of them in the eye and say, as you just heard, this is a fellow devotee of Cuthbert. But what you didn't hear is if he gets caught saying that, I go in jail and will take it very unkindly. Karn, can you politely explain to your friend here that a modicum of a modicum of silence is going to be necessary until we are indeed ready?
What do you mean, friend Orion? I have never, ever kept my silence about my allegiance to the great Lord Cuthbert.
Okay, you'll be breaking me out with ox.
Well, if I have to break you out, then I will have to break you out.
It is if it is Cuthbert's will, it will happen.
Exactly.
Oh God, there's two of them.
But it will always be Cuthbert's
Really,
will to
guys?
spread the word of Cuthbert.
Really, guys? Can we keep it down for long enough to abscond out of the city, guys?
It is possible that as we are talking about the infiltration of a fortified fortress, that perhaps that we may need to involve ourselves in a slight bit of subterfuge.
Praise Cuthbert.
And he looks at your friend and he says, follow my lead.
I
If
will.
I don't mention comfort, you don't mention comfort.
Okay, give me 2d6 roll, add your charisma.
All right. 4, 5, that's 9, and my charisma is a plus 1, 10.
Yeah, says you truly are one of higher knowledge and standing in Cuthbert. I shall defer to you.
Excellent, excellent. I swear to you, upon this mighty sword, that every action that I do is to honor and put forth the word of Cuthbert.
Nice. I'll lean down to the Arcone that's like down on the ground currently and reach out an arm to like help him stand up.
Okay. Yeah, he oh, thank you.
And I'll whisper into his ear, I wouldn't ask you to do anything that I wouldn't do. But give me at least a few minutes heads up, like earlier, if you plan on burning anything to the ground.
I am I'm not an arsonist.
Whatever it may be, just let me know.
It's the least I could do. As he looking over your shoulder, he's like, that looks like the Emperor's palace. I don't
Yeah.
remember it. I think they've made some additions since the last time I saw it.
Oh, most assuredly they have. They have been busy.
Well, I am grateful, and where it is, what must you do now?
Well, yeah. Let's get organized. Do either of these two have a place in the city to go?
Absolutely not.
First
Now
thing
let me guess,
first.
no money either.
No, they basically have what they're wearing.
Yeah, first things first. Let's get you some clothes so you don't look like you haven't bathed in like years.
Yeah, right.
Oh, not only that, it's 40 freaking degrees out here.
Yeah, they're a little bit chilly.
So I'm thinking clothes, food, bath, worry about housing, and then along the way, I want to know what the amateurs, not amateurs, the Arcone's story is. You know, why he got tagged for terrorism and what is really going on with him.
Are you gonna have them stay at the place? Yeah, because they could take a bath there too.
Yeah, that
Rejuvenating
makes
bog.
Yeah, I don't think we don't. I mean, that's like, we got to keep an eye on him no matter what. So
Yeah, I mean he can stay in your room. They'll let you stay in his room, like either one could stay on a bedroll in your rooms. That's fine.
we'll let the two we'll let the Cuthbert fanatics bunk together unless they object.
Okay.
Karn will be happy to keep him in his room with him. He'll have to sleep on the floor, but the dog shares his bed.
Right. Okay. Yeah, he does. I mean, they're so happy to be out of that prison, that jail, that like, and we'll just say, you guys kind of grab them. You go to one of the local, I would guess that you might have a cloak or something just to throw on. And you could hit that general store in the market district that's not that far and get them something to wear.
Yeah, fair enough.
I will buy the Arcone the finest clothes that I can find, as well as a set of like nondescript peasants' clothes.
The hero of Cuthbert gets slightly better than peasant's clothes. He dresses him middle class.
So yeah, you outfit them with clothes now, and make your way to the rejuvenating bog. What Doc Zachi tells you is that he's roughly been in jail for about 15 years.
Oh wow.
And he would correct
And
you. He would absolutely correct you on what he is. He doesn't call himself an Arcone. And if you were to call him that, he would politely correct you.
Gotcha.
A Dracone.
Got it.
He says that Arcones believe that we are in the age of revelation. But he doesn't believe that. He believes that we are in the age of unification. Because once the Arcone or his people gave over authority to the apes, because as you know, the apes took different portions of the known world. For some reason, his people decided to give over the island of Illumini to the apes, to ape control. There was certain ones who absolutely said, this is complete bullshit. What are you doing? No, we're not at the age of revelation anymore. This is the age of unification, and the age of unification was war. They fought each other over it.
Gotcha.
So that's what he believes. And he says that he never plotted to blow up the Emperor's palace, though it wouldn't bother him to see it absolutely destroyed.
Is this somebody that Karn would possibly see as a possible ally then?
Yeah, possibly. And he says that there was a group of them here. He starts to go and say there was a group of them here in Clinkville that had come to Clinkville to have a resistance against the apes, and he happened to get round up and thrown in jail because they didn't like what they were saying. He said that somebody, a dear friend, one of his associates spoke out at the university, and they basically threw him out. And he says, I don't know where he is now, but it happened around the same time because he was spouting off stuff against the ape empire. He was a professor, and he was one of them, and he was in the group with them.
Well, that was really unfortunate. Make sure that such thing doesn't happen while you're out.
And it is an ability that his race has is to be able to speak telepathically.
Gotcha.
Does it have limits, like how often, or
He can do it. He can
stuff like
basically
that?
at will. He can do it all the time.
Wow.
Is it one-way or two-way communication?
It is mostly one way. He can receive something, but it's piecemeal. He might so
Gotcha.
keep it short, like 1 or 2 words. He'll pick it up. Anything longer than that, he'll have a hard time figuring it out.
All right.
I'm in or I'm out is something he could catch.
Right?
But-
Yeah.
But I really don't like this guy, and I think
Yeah.
we should throw him off the bridge. It's a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah. It's
Right.
going to be a jumbled mess. Yeah.
Yes, no, heard it, yeah, okay.
Kill him, steal it. Yes.
Leave it to the thief to say kill.
I'd prefer not to get anyone's hands wet if we don't have to.
Yeah, Clintock and Basil are definitely of the same mind about that. It's the get in and get out. Nobody noticed.
But he would say that the handover when it changed over to his people to the apes was like 70 years ago that it happened, and it's been at one time there was a civil war on the island, but that has cooled down, but there are pockets of resistance. And New Tanchow City is part of that island.
Got it.
So it is right across the water, but that's in a different Emperor is in charge of that.
Gotcha. Make sure nothing the like happens again, and if anything, we can work on getting you released sooner.
And he will also go on to say that the only reason he is alive is because it would cause too much. They were attempting not to rile up political alliances, and that's why they didn't execute him.
Gotcha.
They thought, that public execution would stir up more problems than it was worth. So they just figured if they just threw him in prison and just sat on him.
He's a political prisoner.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So don't kill him because people will get pissed, but
Yeah,
lock
but
him
if,
away and he can't.
and eventually they'll forget.
Right.
And he will tell you that his sentence is life and he lives a long time.
Whoa.
My friends, this is somebody that we must get away from here. We must free this Draconin.
You'll hear no disagreement from me. But let us figure that plan out soon. But not now. We have other things to do.
So now that we got those, he's going to be really, really useful because if he's been in there long enough, he probably knows a lot about the jail. We need to know about where they keep special prisoners. In other words, where is Ox likely to be held? All of the details as far as the guard changes, and the various security. Yeah, we need to know all of that. And he's going to be really useful since he's been there long enough to figure out a lot of it.
My friend Orion, he can read their thoughts. Of course, he knows what they're thinking from day to day.
Just assure him that we are no friends. We are no friends of the guards. So we're no friends. Well, we're no friends of the current rulers either.
He figured as much, because people usually don't come in there to try to get him. He's not the type that you would really use for manual labor.
The story is real. The end is going to be a bit different than perhaps many people suspect.
So probably be a gold piece for each of them at the rejuvenating bog to get them a bath and a room.
Gotcha.
And
how much for the clothes?
I would say that a gold piece for each of them will probably get them,
Colonel will take on the guy who is poor Cuthbert. And he wants to find out how he likes dogs.
Yeah, he doesn't mind the dog at all. He will tell you that he's been in that jail for about a year.
Okay.
Whoa, a year for proselytizing? Then again, he probably back-talked the judge, and that probably didn't help, but...
Yep. And it's heresy, right? You're speaking against the gods that are out there right now. So it's not just the proselytizing, but it's the proselytizing for false gods. But we all know that Karn only worships the true gods and their prophet, Saint Cuthbert. So you don't mind, Sinner, laying prostrate on the floor while my dog and I take to bed.
It is not that it's not that jail floor. I don't. Well, actually, you're in a private room.
As a matter of fact, with your willingness to take the floor, it shows that you're more deserving of the bed than I. The dog and I shall take the floor, and you shall suffer your just rewards. Stretch out, my friend. Take the bed. Be comfortable for once in this past long year. Sleep well.
Yeah, he cleans up. He looks like a completely different person as he's sprawled out on the bed, relaxing.
For tonight, at least, your comfort is paramount. Your devotions deserve a just reward.
All right, anything else you guys want to do on this day? You've gotten some people out of the jail. You met the connie and the treasurer. Got your
I guess
planning for the
Carn will make sure he's got a good breakfast waiting for him in the morning. That'll be about it for Carn.
okay.
Clintock will make a visit to all the bars we went to the last evening, and for whatever barkeep that happens to be on duty to just mention a dance competition. All are welcome to enter. Just whenever somebody gets a drink, and how much ever gold that cost, probably a couple gold pieces at each place. That seems sufficient.
I think if you dropped if you dropped a gold piece at each place, you'd be
Okay.
fine.
Gotcha. Done.
Just going in there, just chatting up. The buzz is still about the event that's going to occur. Everybody's still talking about that. Yeah. So while you're out doing that evening. Orion, are you around?
You mean around
Rejuvenating bog? Or are you headed out?
Rejuvenating bog? That's a good question. I mean, if Clintock tells me what he's planning, I'll definitely hang out with him to do that.
Okay.
Because Orion's been trying to be businesslike, but that doesn't mean he's any less of a bard. He's just like, being businesslike is interfering with singing, drinking, and winching. And so any excuse to get into a bar is good at the moment.
Fair enough.
So yeah, if Clintock mentions he's headed out, I'm gonna go with him and show people what a real bard can do, as far as a little music to go along with Clintock's story there.
Okay. Each place you go to, there is a bard in there as attempting the song that you did the night before.
Oh, I gotta correct him. I've gotta correct him.
So yeah, you guys are out that evening doing that. Karn, I'm sure, is early to bed.
Probably around 7:30 or 8 p.m.
Yeah.
And which is around the time that Basil is waking up.
Right.
And he might be interested in going with him. Are we gonna get in any trouble? I don't want to get in any trouble. I don't want to get hurt now.
No worries. We're not getting into any trouble, Basil.
Oh, okay. But might we get some golds?
Maybe.
Oh, I'm there.
But sometimes you gotta spend gold to make gold. So
Oh, I've got some gold and maybe even some silver. You never know.
God. You go to the Goblin's Den. Some student bard is attempting Orion's song. Just completely out of whack. There's a bunch of signs that have been made, like blah blah blah. What did it say? It says "Light of Justice," but in huge block letters, "Free fucking beer," and they've just plastered it all in the inside. And they're like dates to be determined, like, there's a small little betting pool, like how many days the festival is going to be. And like they're running games like, okay, what's the odds that they're going to run out of beer on which day? And then,
Free fucking beer.
And Remy is back in that corner table, and you notice she is back there with her friend that's wearing the beret. They've got some of those cranberry scones and they're drinking an ale.
She wasn't with us when we met the guy at midnight, so she may not know what we know about how to get into this guy's secret dimension. So, I'll wander over and, say hey and say, we found out a little more about your destination there. Do you want to talk about it here, or you want to go someplace more private?
Oh, Ryan. Oh, it's good to see you, everyone. She's like, Crispin, can you get some more scones for us? He's like, oh, yeah. He kind of bows to everybody. Good to see everyone. Yeah. Well, let's talk right here. It'll take him a minute.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't know how. I'm glad you picked up on that. I didn't know how much you trusted him. So we'll fill around on what we were told, that this guy is sealed in his own private dimension, and the gods have basically forbidden it. So the only way in is through, cracks in reality, and we got hints as to how to find them. And
Okay.
Orion, in the back of his mind, is thinking, after we piss off the entirety of the Eighth Empire, some other dimension is about where I want to be for a while.
And she says, yeah, that's good. That's really good information. Yeah, it's not hard to figure out that I plan on trying to get there, but I'm gonna need a crew to make it. I can get on one of my dad's ships that's headed down south to Twin Rivers, which is down in the south. I was just going to take a couple sailors with me, and just because I'm going to have to hire a ship or something to get down the Twin Rivers to get through the gate, to get to the south. So, and I'm going to need muscle. I don't know. I didn't want to come out and ask you guys because you've done enough already.
Oh, really? It's not a problem.
Yeah, really, it's no problem.
Okay.
I'll love to help you with something like this.
Really? I mean,
Our services are reasonably priced.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of town price, Stephen.
well,
Well, it's not like we've got to get the fuck out of town. But I mean, if you need to get out of town, we've got the way to do it. We can cover your ass while you're getting out of here.
well, I gotta get enough of this research done and get my the paper from the other stuff I did turned in. But my dad's got there's a shipment, there's usually a supply run that goes down into Twin Rivers every couple 12-15 days. So I think it's like the next one's going out like the 20th. So I got like 9 days. She's like, yeah, I got like 9 days here before, unless I can get another ship to take me. But that was my plan, is to get on that ship and go down to Twin Rivers, and then maybe go into Moglet and maybe find somebody who can navigate that river through the gate.
We're gonna have to get out before 9 days is up.
Fern says that. Oh boy.
Oh no, that's out of character. Sorry.
Yeah.
Karn was trying to push for, the last day of of it at 7 to 10 days, whatever it was going to end up being. But we decided that the execution was going to be 4 or 5 days in, which means if she's going to be 9 days out, we've got 4 days that we've got to hold up and hide if that's what we decide to do. Which would be like what, plan C?
Yeah, a lot of working parts in our plans. Yeah.
So plan C would be to get with her and get the hell out of town and get down south and take that ship.
Yeah, probably.
Or even plan D.
Yeah, or even plan D. Yeah.
Are you guys familiar with the gates of the Roga Cluth tomb?
What?
Gates up. Can't even pronounce that.
Are they gilded?
That's the hobgoblin, supposedly the father of the hobgoblin clans. But is his tomb, they're like dormant volcanoes that the apes don't really mess with, but they're guarded by hobgoblins.
Huh.
Would Basil have heard his hobgoblin friend mention that at any point in time?
Give me a 2d6 D6 roll.
Okay. 3.
Yeah, not in the time that you were around him. He didn't mention that.
Okay. What? My best friend was a hobgoblin, but no, he never mentioned that.
Yeah, I mean, the apes didn't take it over when they took over that area. They just kind of left it to the hobgoblins. So it's kind of a religious trek for them. But they do let people pass. So I don't know what it's going to cost. That's why I wanted to go into Moglet, which used to be the hobgoblin stronghold before the apes defeated them. Unless you guys know how to get past it.
No, but maybe one of our new friends might. He's been around for a while.
And Crispin comes back with a plate of scones, and she's like, "Oh, did I say scones? Oh, I need another mead." He's like, "Oh," and he puts the scones back and he walks back. Anyway,
She's got it wrapped around her finger. Or we could try for more. I mean, we could try for more work releases and get that one guy out.
We don't even necessarily have to get him out, just talk to him.
Yeah.
no,
And the Dracone, say it right, by now, probably if he's been in there with him for a while, he probably knows who he is or how important he is. If he's somebody important, we can probably use him as a lever to get into hobgoblin territory. That is assuming we can get him out.
so yeah, everybody can give me a intelligence roll.
Gotcha.
Oh God, I failed. I rolled in that 20.
Yeah, here's like,
I'm the same club as you.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I don't
fortunately.
need to make an attack, so I rolled in that 20.
Well, fortunately, I'm doing pretty well tonight. Rolled a 2.
okay, so she's starting to talk about the hobgoblin territory and stuff. You've heard, it's bardic stories. You've heard the story of Moglet, which is basically used to be like the hobgoblin hub of the known world. And when the apes started to expand, they took the hobgoblin lands, which of course most people didn't like hobgoblins, so it was pretty easy. They laid siege to Moglet 70 years And Twin Rivers is basically where they camped. It's like at the base of where these two rivers split. And that's where their fortress was. And they laid siege to Moglet for like 70 years. So in that area, and Twin Rivers basically became a town. So in that area, the hobgoblins are not a fan of the Ape Empire at all. Now, everybody else likes them because they took care of the hobgoblins. Not all hobgoblins are, for lack of a better word, evil. Like the people that run Moglet, the mayor, whoever, the clan, is one who is favorable to the Ape Empire.
Gotcha.
But it was a nasty war that happened however many years, 200 years ago.
Okay. Obviously, if I figure this out, I'll sort of lay it out for the party and let's see if any of them have any ideas. Doesn't give me any, actionable plans there, but the more we know, the better.
She says, I could go from Clinkville down to the Gully of Small through the winding outpost on the other end of Eastonor, but that one leaves in 5 days. But then we'd have to traverse some of the smaller rivers south through the mountains to get to the south, and basically avoiding that whole gate.
We've got a friend who's really good and really strong and able to traverse hard to traverse areas. Would that help any at all?
Oh, yeah, of course it would. Yeah.
I mean, I think you met him before. Karn's a great one, for things like that.
Oh, I remember Karn.
Everybody remembers Star.
You just got to remember to tell him that it's what Cuthbert wants, and he'll make sure it gets done.
Sometimes that's a tough process.
Oh, you just got to know what to say to him.
Fair enough.
When it works, it works. When it doesn't, well, it really doesn't. So.
Oh, you just haven't learned how to talk to him. But I know he likes you, Orion. He thinks you're his best friend.
Well, I like the guy. He's forthright and he saved me a couple of times. Or to put it in a how shall we say this, not in game way, healer and tank. Boy, those are the people you want to keep alive.
Oh, well, what I got from him was that he thinks that you would be a great convert to Cuthbert. That you have a good heart, that you just haven't found the right way yet.
Good to know. Good to know.
Oh, he doesn't think much of me, though. He figures that I'm going to burn in the fire. He told me I was the lost cause.
He hasn't. I'm sure Cuthbert can convert anybody.
So Crispin comes back with a couple drinks, and she takes, oh, go, good, thank you. And she sips, she's like, is this the apple? He's like, yeah. No, the lemon, the apple will keep me up all night.
Oh, shit.
And then he leaves it, and she's like, he goes back.
Gosh, that poor guy. Oh gosh, that poor guy.
I mean, we can just go from from here down to Hexer's Crossing and just go over land, but that's another option, but that's a completely different set of circumstances. We can't use the boat.
Well, let's just say we're going to need to leave before the festival is over. So,
Okay.
the longer wait there is probably not desirable.
Well,
But we will have, whatever we do, we will have to discuss it with our compatriots before we commit to anything.
Yes, I mean, just let me know what the going rate is. And I can try to get payments.
Clinton
Okay.
just lifts this like coin purse and like hefts it. Yeah, we'll have to check in on that.
And not in front of her, but later. And there's always the old double money. Get her father to pony up for protection or detail.
Oh, yeah, that was a given.
Oh yeah, we'll spring that on him later. Unless you want to work out a contract in advance. Anytime she disappears, we promise to return her. There'd be a surcharge for that fee.
Oh, I like
Okay.
his thinking.
All right. So yeah, you anything else you want to talk with her about?
No, I think that seems good. I don't have
Okay.
anything.
All right. Yeah, you go to the different bars and do your thing, hang out. The seduction is like very dead. Loesch is not there.
Oh.
Really? Huh. He slowed down? Never mind.
Was the last night too much for him? Like was the mayor's party something that he had to recover from?
He sure didn't act like it. And if you wanted to get silvered weapons, I know we talked about that, but if that's something you want to do the next day or you would have done today, we can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
What
Pete,
does
I'll
everybody want to get
email.
silvered, and Karn will whatever it takes to get them silvered, Karn will donate it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, Pete, I'll email you an update for Torjan since you turned him over to me.
Yep.
He had enough money to buy some decent equipment, so he's going to buy decent equipment. Too bad he can't buy decent stats. Boy, 6 decks, 7 con.
Randomly rolled. That's what happens.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you know what my first character was. I called it Born to Die for a reason.
Hey, look, Basil Wilberforce was supposed to be dead in the first 2 games.
Yes. You have. Yeah, you managed to.
Basil just runs like hell.
Yeah.
And lives.
All right. So silvered weapons. Paul, give me a D12 roll.
A D4?
D12.
D12. Okay. That's 12. A 7.
So as you guys go rest for the evening, the winds eventually die down for the next day. And you are all woken up early in the morning. Karn is already awake. As Brucon has come and like knocked on all the doors or whatever. And there is a woman there who she says, I need your assistance. Someone has been kidnapped and they've been I fear that they apparently got drunk and stupid.
That'll happen.
And we can stop right there.
So much.
Nice.
So that could be an option if you wish to help this person.
Well, how can Karn not help a damsel in distress? You said it was a maiden, right?
It was an older woman. Yes.
A maiden in distress.
Okay.
Karn's gonna have to answer that.
Okay, wait a minute. Who is requesting this in the first case, and why do we care in the second case?
It is a woman you've never seen before. She will tell you that if you ask her, that Remy's father, Anton, told her that you were down here and that she is of a noble house. And you will also find out that it was her husband and she didn't know who to turn to, and had heard that, Remy had been saved, and that Anton told her about you guys, and that was the first thing she thought of, because the authorities, she says, are not going to do anything.
Of course they aren't.
Because she will say
Okay.
that, you know why? Because the mayor gets a cut for every person they snatch.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Intrigue.
So the mayor is involved in slavery.
Please.
Indentured
Involuntary
Indentured
servitude.
servitude. Yeah.
You pay for the boat trip that you didn't realize you wanted.
Yes.
All right. Well, of course, we were dead. We were committed as soon as Karn heard about it. So, okay.
Yeah.
Karn can't say no. You don't have to say yes, but Karn can't say no.
I think somebody was close to leveling up the last time I did this.
Boy, a paladin sure does make the fun. That's easy, don't it?
Yeah. Yeah, you would say that. Something's close. I want to say it was. What level is Clintock?
He's only level 1.
Yeah, Clintock's level 2.
Yay!
Yeah, he was close. Yeah, he's level 2.
Nice. I will level him up for next time.
I did not know that we were going to go to the jail and interview prisoners. So I went and found this crime and punishment generator that I kept flipping through to find out. That's what Paul was rolling to see what their crimes were.
Nice.
Like,
That's great.
Fantastic.
Okay.
I have to ask, where are you finding these?
I just Googled it, and I'll put it in the chat.
So the gargle machine is doing it for you.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that
It was a pretty good. It was a pretty good mixture, and like I said, as you could figure out, we pretty much figured out what several of them were just by your characterization there. You remind me of my ex. Oh, hell no.
Yeah, hers was attempted murder, and I was like, I sounds like I haven't had any female prisoners. That's not fair.
Yeah, that was great. That was absolutely great.
And then you're like, well, let's get them on work release. I'm like, what? It's like, okay. Because the whole thing with the person being snatched was my scenario, but we were running with this. I was like, I don't care. I'll just set it up for next time. If you guys want to jump in on that, you can. It won't throw off all your planning. And I kind of wanted to break it off so it was only certain characters tonight, as opposed to, I know it's hard running 2 because
yeah.
pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And you also, Remy was also supposed to get back with you about like what she was doing. So I figured if she was at the bar, that would be easier to talk to her.
Yeah, that made sense.
Yeah.
Running 2 hasn't been too hard this time around. I've done it before.
Yeah.
This time around, it hasn't been too hard because they are opposite sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
Yeah. One's like a really good guy that's brave and runs in. One's a coward that always runs away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had you roll to see if you noticed that grate,
Yeah.
but you didn't. But the way you kept working with that dog and working with the guy, I was like, okay, that's enough that eventually he would be like, hey, watch out. Don't step here because you'll hurt yourself.
Nice.
Yeah, that worked
Yeah.
out pretty well. I was just trying to make friends with the guys.
Yeah.
Who's gonna like not want to hang out with the
Mhm.
dude playing with his dog, and like you don't say no when he's like, here, help me teach my dog a new trick.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Great game.
All right.
Good run. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Y'all have a good night.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye bye.